not a problem. Thank you so much for taking the time to do it. I mean, obviously, this is an incredibly busy time. So I got to ask you first off, individually, guys, how's your day going? You having a good day? Day off, as it were.
Yeah,
Day off, yeah, that's been good. We
happy about it.
We slept a lot.
Yeah, finally sleeping quite a lot.
We just headed into town now to get some food.
I won't keep you too long then. I'll let you get on with your food. Well, obviously...
No worries. We got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, obviously, we've already said it. You're at the halfway point of this current UK tour with Dirty Sound Magnet. How's it been so far?
It started all right. The first few days were quite good. The last 2-3 dates were a bit more difficult, like getting people to come down to the show. Not sure if it's the, with COVID and December being busy,
There's a lot of other shows happening at the moment as well.
Yeah, so we had our London show, which is always cool. In London, we have all of our mates there, and we had a good time. We had a good show in Bournemouth. That was really cool. Like the Anvil, that was a really good time. And then I mean, apparently we spoke to a couple of the sound engineers, the promoters, and they said there's so many gigs that are on at this moment. All of the gigs that have been pushed back from the last couple of years, they're all happening at the same time. And as well with this Omicron variant, maybe people are a bit more
cautious.
Yeah, we found actually that on some of the shows, a lot of people that bought a ticket didn't show up. So,
yeah.
There's something, going on.
Yeah, it is a very difficult, I mean, ignoring all the COVID side of things, just what you've been talking about there alone with the pushback of tours. If you're a UK band in particular, it seems like everyone is trying to get something in this month before we stop again.
Yeah.
Or get stopped again, because that's the current thing as well. Will we actually be, well, even for you guys, you must be wondering, will you be able to finish this tour?
Yeah, I mean, we were watching the news this morning to try and see, because they're talking about more restrictions again. So the last time we were on tour, which was for our album release, it got cut short halfway through. We played in, I can't remember what.
The last gig was in Swindon, I think.
Was it the Victoria?
The Victoria in
Swindon. That was the last gig. And like the day after, it was going to be lockdown. So, and maybe this time's going to happen the same. But
here we go again.
Indeed. We can be grateful that you've managed to at least knock out. Was it 6 dates so far? You've done 6.
6 dates so far. Yeah, we played 6 dates, and tomorrow we're going to Edinburgh.
For another 7 days.
For another 7 days. Yeah.
Hopefully it should be good.
Yeah.
Edinburgh and Glasgow are always cool, so crossing fingers is gonna be as it used to be.
And we're playing at one of our favorite venues, the Bandemans in Edinburgh. So
Are you in Edinburgh right now?
No, Newcastle.
We're in Newcastle.
You've got Newcastle. Okay, I was going to ask how much colder it is up north then, because I'm in London, so I want to find out how cold it is up there at the moment.
I mean, I've seen the weather forecast for tomorrow, 6 a.m. is -2. So.
I just went to buy some new boots because my feet were cold and wet. So
yeah, we've all got our scarves and turtlenecks going on.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So I always wonder, going back to the live shows, the shows you've been doing, I always wonder about the competitive nature that might come out when you're doing a joint headline tour. Do you guys, have you guys found yourself playing and working harder thanks to your tour mates, or is it all very jovial and you kind of just one-upping each other?
Well, there has been actually in the past, we had a band that were our mates called Mongrel Dogs, and we'd always, when we were coming up as bands, we were always trying to
outband
to outband the other one. And when you're on tour with another band and you do the full 2 weeks with them, you do get kind of, you see how the other band is on stage and like, oh, that's really cool what they're doing. Let's try and do better now. And it goes a bit backwards and forwards.
You pick some ideas from how they perform as well.
Yeah. And you can also, if one band is like going all out and really putting in a passionate performance, then you kind of want to do the same as well and make sure that you're not like going on stage being all like.
So it does help, I think.
It's not competitive, but it's definitely there's a bit of
motivation.
Yeah.
Have you been, in your opinion, have you been blowing Dirty Sound Magnet off the stage then so far?
Say that again.
In your opinion, have you been blowing Dirty Sound Magnet off the stage then so far?
I don't know. I mean, it's a very different show actually, because they're very focused more on the actual music. Like they're really like into instrumental, and they love to play. I mean,
long songs.
long songs. It's a very different kind of show, but on some nights they did really, really well. On our side, we always try to just be stupid on stage. Really. So
a lot of acrobatics on our side.
Yeah. As a company, if we're to compare the bands, they're probably the like really intelligent musical people that are
100%.
really into music, and we're kind of the morons that just play
That's a great contrast.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying that's a great contrast, but carry on what you were about to say.
Oh yeah, no. I think even though like with the current circumstances with the guy, we still gave our, even if it's just like less than 10 people, or if it was 1,000 or 10,000, we always bring the same show, like because we still love our music and love playing for the people which wants to hear our music, and the energy is definitely there all the time at 200%. So I'm proud of the guys. We're doing a good job.
And we always had a good time, so on every night.
I mean, that's all you can ask for, as long as you're enjoying yourself as well. Of the dates you've done so far, which one has been your favorite? If you could, I know it's a bit of a cheeky one to ask because you'll effectively have to run down one town over another. But which one have you enjoyed the most so far?
I mean,
London was nice because we had
London
friends.
was cool,
And I would say, personally, for me, Manchester was the craziest. Just so like Cal came on the drums and took the drums over for like a verse, and was just walking around, and then I just came back on the drums. It was just random stuff. He was walking on fucking anywhere he could. I
was quite drunk in Manchester.
It was a mad show, really.
It was really cold, so we had to have a little run to get warmed up, and
I think at some point we're gonna need to have like a harness and like strings to attach him, to make sure he doesn't die from falling from somewhere.
Yeah, I did. I've hurt my elbow, and I've also fell on my back. So, and I've got a lump on my head. Yeah, from Cedric. He whacked my head with his bass.
Oh man, you're going to be broken by the time that you get to the 15th then.
Oh well, it'll be worth it.
Oh, good. What about adjusting? So obviously going back to the first date, the 2nd of December in London, was it easy to adjust to the normality of actually playing live again and having a crowd there?
Did you get that?
I didn't get that.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, no worries, guys. So when going back to the first date, the 2nd of December, it was in London, right? The normality of playing live again, was it easy to adjust, and were you confident that you would just be able to kind of get back into the swing of things again?
Well,
I said we were very confident since the start, really, because for us it's like second nature to be on stage now, and it's just it's very natural. Like it wasn't like difficult, so we were not scared, or it was just like we were just very excited to go back on the stage and play our music, so very natural. It was a very natural
we couldn't
process.
wait, to be honest.
It's been so long without playing gigs, and we kind of live for the performance. We love performing music, and we couldn't wait to just get back on stage. And it wasn't weird. There wasn't any like, oh my gosh, what is this? We just went on, performed as usual. And,
We did have a bit of training though. We managed to go on a couple of festivals during the summer. Which was really, really helpful, and we had such a fantastic time as well. So it was a bit like riding a bicycle again, I guess.
Yeah, and it was a nice way to get back into it, because like over the summer we just every weekend played like really, really nice festival with really cool crowds. So it was really satisfying to get back to it.
Quite a contrast though, warm festivals of the summer, getting back into the swing of things, and then back to the freezing cold of December.
Yeah.
How do you think then, considering I've got all of you with me, how has Daxx and Roxane held up throughout the pandemic, in particular the lockdown period? Do you think you've come through it stronger?
Well, during these last couple of months, what we have been doing is we've been working on our recording at home kind of techniques. So, we've been trying to record an EP, and we usually always go to a studio and record the whole thing. But for these last couple of months, we've been, really trying to get to grips with home recordings. And yeah, I think that is in one area where we actually got to another level. And we definitely,
and that also had to like put a plan together on how we're gonna record the next album, and also like I think the last few songs we wrote for the album number 3 are pretty solid. So we are actually looking forward to start recording this as well.
One thing we're a bit disappointed by was that the pandemic and the lockdowns hit right when we were releasing our second album.
Yeah.
So we never got to do like a launch party. We never got to properly tour it. And so that I just feel like we didn't do that album enough justice. Touring for it and really pushing it. So that was quite sad that the lockdown happened at that point. But we moved on now, and we're
looking for the future. But I do think to answer your question, we definitely are stronger as a unit with the guys, and we are really motivated into pursuing even better music on our side, I would say, and just like be back on the road as strong as ever.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, that's all you can hope for. To be fair, most artists we've spoke to, bands and artists across this last year and a half of Zoom interviews and meetings, have always been able to find something positive out of the period, considering there's so much negativity. If you could put your finger on one positive thing for the band that came out of this period, what would it be?
Our fans, I would say, for me personally, because I think we got kind of closer to them during the pandemic because we were doing those online shows, and the fact that when we released the our second album, there was a lot of pre-sales, so we made sure to write down a little letter to them and show our appreciation for their support. And like right now, we still got some really amazing people coming to our shows after so many years, and they keep coming to the shows after. Yeah,
it's kind of like actually since this pandemic that now that we're doing shows again, that we've been meeting the same people remember us, people coming specifically to see us at shows and having a chat, and there's quite a few people now that we keep seeing on the road that are people that are really close to us as a band, and that's really since the pandemic.
Definitely VIP.
Yeah.
Do you find it quite easy and natural to interact with fans? I'm not just talking about at a show. I'm talking about as well the online aspect, the demand that comes with being in a modern band and getting on social media and listening and reading those comments.
That's all Luca mostly, the online side of things.
Luca and Simon, they're the one.
It's time consuming, but it's really rewarding. Like Cal was saying. Now we got all these regular people that are really close to us and are really giving back for the music that we do, and it's really heartwarming, and it's a really, how to say, feel good feeling, sensation. And
there's a very, very good community of rock people that are around the UK that really just live for the music and live for just hanging out with the bands, not just seeing them on stage, and they actually want to know them. And that's something also we do all the time, is staying in the audience, around, and just talk to people, meet them, get to know them a bit. It's just, it's nice, it's a nice, very, very good community.
Yeah, and I think that from, the being a modern band perspective is maybe something I would guess that didn't exist so much before, but now, bands are much closer to their fans, and you talk on a more personal level since you can communicate directly with them. I was actually watching a video today where people were fainting at Michael Jackson concerts because he was such an icon that you would never see. Seeing him was amazing. But now we're more in the era where you can actually talk directly with anyone.
Yeah, you're friend with Facebook with all your favorite artists.
I think there's a much closer relationship between a band and their fans.
Everyone, pretty much, I'd say 90% of bands and artists we speak to about social media normally follows up with the next part, which is that although it's a necessary tool to talk to fans and interact, it's not necessarily something that they actually enjoy using, be it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whichever one you're bloody doing, all of them. What about you guys? Have you managed to find your way to enjoy it and balance your personal lives with the professional life?
Yeah, I mean, I think we find a really, really good balance with the guys here because we kind of focus on our strengths in the band. I personally am really bad with social media. If I touch anything remotely with social media, it goes wrong. So me and Cal focus more on the aspect of the music side of our band, and since we're not so much active on our social, Simon and Luca are mainly they're the main guys doing all this big job. And so we kind of find our balance in the band.
And then I think the one platform where is the most like the better content is on Instagram on our stories. We really put if someone follows our Instagram stories, it's really the one place where they see a lot of what's going on in the band. You know, not just
Personal.
what gig are we playing and this and that. It's more personal. It's more of an insight into our lives. And then obviously with all the messages that come from those platforms. So yeah, our Instagram stories are probably the best place to follow what's going on in this.
We're trying to come up with some
TikTok
fun content to do TikTok as well, but so far we don't really know what to do with it. So if anyone's listening and want to be our TikTok account manager,
haven't got a clue myself, fellas. Not a clue. That is, I feel like I'm not that old, but I feel like I'm too old to be messing around with TikTok. You know?
Yeah, definitely. We don't really want to see ourselves dancing on TikTok either, you know.
We've got the music for some dancing anyway, so at least you can throw that out there.
You know, sometimes there's like, well, this is just my feeling, but Facebook more and more I feel is becoming a platform for advertising mostly, where you don't have content that is very just like content. It's always about this event, that gig, this thing coming out, buy this merch and things like that. And Instagram is trying to get in there as well. And at the moment, TikTok feels like the one platform where there are actually people posting content that is personal and relatable. So, yeah.
That's true, yeah. It's very different kind of content.
Yeah.
So you need all platforms probably, but you would need your fans to use all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? You can't just have one, you've got to have them all. Good luck with TikTok if you manage it.
Weird times, but yeah, I need to adapt, unfortunately, I guess.
It is weird times, and you guys have kind of been constantly running, it seems, since you came about. Are you looking, not so much looking to take a break, but have you had the opportunity to take a breather yet and actually kind of look around and go, right, we've accomplished this much, not just releases, but the live shows as well you've been able to do over such a short period of time?
Well, we're looking forward to January, February, where we have quite a lot of, we don't have any gigs at the moment planned. And we really want to just spend some time recording and rehearsing. So that'll be after these last couple of months have been quite crazy with gigs. We're going to have a bit of time to breathe and to make up a plan. We really want to start working on a third album and figuring out how we're going to be recording it, when and where. And so, yeah, January and February is going to be a time that we're going to spend a lot of time in the studio, recording, rehearsing, writing music, and figuring out what we're going to do with our music for the next couple of years.
Yeah, well, we still have time. I mean, it's going to be like kind of a time off in a way for us, and I'm proud to say that we did accomplish quite a lot with the guys in the amount of years that we toured around the UK, and it's been a great adventure so far, and we just wish it's never going to stop and see how far it goes, you know. So let's see how it goes.
No, of course. As well, I've got to mention that your latest release is obviously a cover of the French Rockers' Telephones, Argent Trop Cher. I am probably butchering out. I'm not very good at a French accent. What made you want to cover this track, guys?
Well, I'm quite a big fan of Telephone, and this track I always heard it in my head. I don't know if you've really listened to the original, but it's quite. The sound of the guitars are quite, they're quite easy and nice. And I always had it in my head that we could probably do that in a bit of a harder way.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to try and release these covers between bringing two albums, but we didn't want to go for all the really obvious rock covers that a band could have done. So we were looking for songs that were a bit more original, a bit different from the regular covers that you would find from a rock band. So yeah, there's a couple of more coming out on this EP that are also quite interesting and quite different.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to releasing.
And it was a fun experience to adapt the lyrics in English from French as well.
it was difficult. Yeah, it was nice to try and rewrite the lyrics to. We didn't translate the song. We kept the same themes and wrote lyrics that matched.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never heard the original, truth be told, and so I listened to yours and then went back and listened to the original. And as a fan of heavier music, I much prefer your version, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Why not a Christmas cover though? It was December.
Yeah, we should have thought about that.
It's true, but we do have an idea in the pipeline for maybe next year.
Yeah, for Christmas tune.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
I didn't know about
Cedric doesn't know about it, but we have something.
Are you a fan of like?
Maybe next year? Daxx Roxane Christmas. Maybe not.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because I was going to ask then, are you fans of kind of like rock and Christmas metal covers?
The what? Sorry.
Are you a fan of kind of rock and metal Christmas covers? Do you find enjoy any of that?
It depends.
Easy as hell.
Some of them I really like personally, and some of them I'm like, nope, get out of here.
Yeah, well, we were thinking of writing our own, so there's a couple of like rock Christmas songs that I really like, and some that just make me cringe so much. So yeah, it would be really writing a Christmas song would be trying to not write something just that makes people cringe.
Hopefully.
Can't wait for that, man. I'll ask you then, if you could, if the top of your head, if you could cover one Christmas track, what would it be?
That's a difficult question.
For me, the only one would be the Pogues' "Fairy Tale in New York," because it's the only Christmas song that they don't keep mentioning Christmas.
Oh,
that's a good one.
I would choose. You know what I'd choose for you? And it's not that old, so maybe it wouldn't work so well, but I would love to hear you give The Darkness's "Christmas Time." Don't let the bells ring.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
They really nailed it, I must say.
Yeah, we did see them in Planet Rockstar a few weeks ago. It was the first time we actually saw them.
And they played it.
It was really, really cool. And they were one of the bands when they came out. I don't know, the album came out in 2013. I think I was 14. And I remember 2003, yeah, sorry. And I was like, wow, there's actually bands still playing this kind of music. And I was like, wow, that's great.
All right, guys, I'm going to let you get on with your food then. But I just want to say that obviously the tour continues from tomorrow. So if you're listening to this interview, watching this interview, please make sure you get down and see the band play at, we got what, is it Edinburgh? What's the last of the dates?
Edinburgh and Glasgow.
And then what are the other dates?
Edinburgh, Glasgow, then Leicester, then Nottingham, then it's Leeds, Bristol,
Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
That's the last of the tour.
Yeah.
A lot of rock and roll. Yeah.
Get down, see the guys play live, support live music. It's cold, it's miserable, COVID is on its way back. Just get in while you can before we can't. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Thank you, Carl. Thanks to you. It was a pleasure, and let's do that again anytime.
Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?